And Kevin, I'm Kevin Callahan, and as always, joined by my co-host Pat Holland. Patrick, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
We didn't get the full weather forecast that we're used to, so we're on a minute early or so. But good. We need the time. There's a lot going on. You want a little weather tidbit?
Sure.
As it's -4 here in Woonsocket. We're 9 degrees warmer than it is, colder than the top of Mount Washington, where it's 5 degrees above zero. Crazy.
Unbelievable.
That's my interesting weather factoid of the day. So that's about all I got. All right. As always, it's been a busy week. This week is no different. I don't know if you heard about the Patriots. They won last week. We have a lot to go over this week. If we want to hear from you, 401-766-1240. Patriots, we got Belichick stuff I want to get into. Bruins finishing up play over the next couple of days in Florida before their Olympic break with an outdoor game tomorrow night. Jason Tatum making some news as well. So if we have time, we'll get into all of that. But as always, let's go around Rhode Island, New England, get you caught up. Brendan McGeer reporting Rhode Island high school football. They are done with their realignment. They will remain 4 divisions. There was a rumor that they might go to 3. They're going to keep it at 4 divisions. Here's the breakdown. Division 1 will have Cumberland, Hendricken, LaSalle, North Kingston, Cranston West, Portsmouth, Central, St. Ray's, South Kingstown, and Barrington. D2 will consist of West Warwick, Westerly, Classical, East Providence, Pawtucket, Coventry, Pontiac, Johnston, Woonsocket, and Burrillville. D3 will be the only division with 12 teams in it, and Lincoln is in that division, along with a whole host of others. North Smithfield stays in Division 4. The breakdown will be for playoffs. Top 6 in each division will make the playoffs. 1 and 2 will get a bye, 3 plays 6, 4 plays 5, and then they move on to the championship. The interesting thing is the bottom 18 teams will be split into 3 divisions based on RPI ranking, and they'll be ranked 1 through 18. So again, 6, 6, and 6, and they're just going to be calling almost like a bowl championship series sort of thing, and it'll be based on RPI, the ratings percentage index. It's like a sub-playoff system. It's a way to bridge the gap between the regular season and Thanksgiving Day game, and a chance to play 2 to possibly 3 more games. So interesting scenarios there playing out. The big news there that I was surprised with is Lincoln going from Division 2 to Division 3. We've covered Lincoln the last couple of years. A little surprising that they moved Division 3. I thought they were there. Brendan McGeer was a little surprised as well. And we know Burrillville's wanted Division 2, right. and they finally got it. But a little surprised that Lincoln moved down to Division 3. But we'll see how the whole thing plays out going forward. So there's the new high school football realignment and how it affects us. Not too much, but we'll be starting to line up the schedule as well for next fall for high school football already.
Yeah. It's right around the corner.
Yeah, absolutely.
And high school basketball, after last night's impressive 72-40 victory, Lincoln improves to 17-0 on the season, still ranked number 1 in the Division 1 standings. They face off their final 5 games the following home Tuesday, February 3rd at Hendricken, number 3. Friday the 6th home against number 6 LaSalle, and then the following Monday the 9th at home against number 6 in Division 2 Cranston West. Next Wednesday the 11th at number 2 Barrington, and the following Friday the 13th home against number 8 Portsmouth.
So kind of a tough schedule for Lincoln to see if they can continue on with their perfect season as well. Good luck to the Lions. To the campuses we go. Bryan men's basketball dropped 3 in a row, now stands at 6-15 on the season. They do have a game at home today on campus against UNH. The Lady Bulldogs struggled lately, losing 4 in a row to drop their season record to 14-7. They will play at UNH today at 1 o'clock.
Down in Kingston, the Rhodey Rams picked up their best victory of the season over George Mason last Saturday continued their winning ways with a conference win over Dayton, 81-76, to improve to 13-8 overall, 4-4 in conference. They play tomorrow at Duquesne with a 12 o'clock tip-off, and the Lady Rams have now won 12 in a row. They stand at 18-2 overall and a perfect 9-0 in-conference record. They are at Fordham today at 2 and return home Wednesday to face St. Joseph's at 6. The Rhodey women sit just outside the top 25 at number 27.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on them as they look to be, other than UConn, the only other New England appearance this year in the NCAAs, barring some miracles. Over at Brown, the men's basketball team has dropped 3 in a row, including a 69-59 decision last night at home to Harvard. They are 7-12 overall and 1-5 in the Ivy League. A quick turnaround for the Bears as they host Dartmouth tonight at 6. The Brown women, winners last night at Dartmouth, 55-41, improved their record to 12-6 overall and 4-2 in conference. They play at Harvard tonight at 7. And the hockey team, 4-16-1 on the season, lost in a shootout last night to Colgate. They returned to Meehan today at 5 to face number 10 Cornell. Real news this week at Brown, after dropping a 3-2 decision at Stonehill earlier this week, Brown University's head coach Brendan Whittet has announced he will step away from the program to take a family medical leave effective February 20th. When he returns from the leave, he'll be transitioning into a new role in the athletics administration. Assistant coach Jason Smith will serve as the interim head coach for the remainder of the 25-26 season. They've begun the national search for a new men's hockey coach. So what's confusing about that, has he stepped away or is he going to step away on February 20th?
Well, it looks like he's stepping away as of effectively February 20th for family medical.
So he knows in 3 weeks that he's... but is he the coach right now?
Or maybe his wife's due.
Oh, right, yeah, it could be anything. So is Jason Smith serving now as the coach?
I believe he's already stepped in.
Okay, so he stepped in, and it looks like they're going to be moving on from Brendan, Coach Whittet, when he comes back, and he'll have a role in the athletics administration. So, just interesting to see.
Yeah.
So...
And over at Providence College, PC has now dropped 4 in a row. They're 9-13 overall, 2-9 in the Big East. Last night they lost 87-73. Their next play at home Wednesday versus Butler at 7. The Lady Friars have dropped 2 straight, are now 10-12 overall, 3-8 in the Big East. They play next today at 1 o'clock versus St. John's. Bright spot is PC hockey with a sweep of BU last weekend. They are now ranked 9th in the country.
Woo-hoo.
Just one game this weekend tonight against number 17 Maine at 7. PC now is at top of the leaderboard in the Hockey East with a 15-7-2 overall record, 10-3-1 conference record. They are the only Hockey East team ranked in the top 10. Other teams of note to be ranked include Quinnipiac, number 6, UConn, BC, Dartmouth, at 12, 13, and 14, respectively.
And based on our experience in watching this, if these rankings, if this ended the year right now, PC might be the only team in. They only take 16 teams. There are 6 or 7 automatic qualifiers. I don't know if Hockey East will have enough to send in more than just one entry. PC looks to be good right now if they can stay in the top 10 and or win Hockey East, and they'll be an automatic qualifier. But could it be a year when only 2 from Hockey East make the tournament this year at most, and maybe only 1? I mean, this is...
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough year for them, but I did see, I believe it was earlier this week, somebody came out with their bracketology. BC was in there as well as PC. Those were the 2 Hockey East teams.
And BC right now ranked behind UConn, so that'll be interesting to see. All right, the New England Lightning, ranked number 5 in the ABA, won last week 120-102 to improve to 12-0 on the season. They have a home game tonight at the Pawtucket Boys and Girls Club at 6 o'clock, so go check that out if you get the chance. Tomorrow they take it on the road in Saratoga, New York. I mean, you can go to that game, too, if you want to go out to Saratoga. No one's really stopping you. After this weekend, with just 5 more games in the regular season, only 2 at home before the playoffs begin, we're looking to set up representation from the New England Lightning to join us once again on a few weeks as their season will conclude on March 1st, then the big playoff push. And that's what things get kind of confusing amongst the 130 teams throughout the country.
Yeah.
You got to imagine that the Lightning, ranked number 5, they got to work on some sort of bye or something. I don't know if they play the 124th ranked team or however that would work out.
I would assume it's broken down by region first.
Yes.
And
Then you start getting into whole regional tournaments and national. So, yeah.
And the Providence Bruins sit at 38-1. They hit the road for the next 5 out of 6 games. They're in Charlotte for back-to-back games this weekend. Their next home game will be Friday, February 6th, and the next one after that, Friday, February 20th. Of note, Matthew Poitras was called up to the Bruins prior to the Bruins win over the Flyers Thursday night. He actually played pretty well, and I think he is still with them. He's on the road down in Tampa for the outdoor game this weekend.
Were you surprised to see that he got called up?
No, they lost a couple centermen, so they had to shift some people around. So I think they give him they're giving him another look potentially for some other teams. Maybe with the trade deadline coming up.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought about them being buyers at the trade deadline this year. The Bruins, because he's put up very pedestrian statistics. They're not bad. They're not good. They're just kind of there. Such high hopes for Poitras a couple of years ago. He is young,
coming in,
and
so.
Maybe he might be looking good to some other teams. So, and the Worcester Red Sox, the Woo Sox, making some news of their own. They opened their season Friday, March 27th at 4 o'clock. Former Red Sox great Roger Clemens will be on hand to throw out the first pitch. He's specifically going to be throwing it to Coach Rich Gedman. They're commemorating the 40th anniversary of his first 20 strikeout game and the 1986 pennant-winning Boston Red Sox. Tickets are on sale for the Woo Sox now for the upcoming season and that specific game, and hope to have Bill Wanless of the Woo Sox join us once again prior to their season starting. So have an exciting time. Nice to talk about baseball when the temperature's -4 degrees. So
sure.
Why not? All right, when we come back, the phone lines will be open 401-766-1240. Pat and I, we're going to get right into the Hall of Fame snub of Bill Belichick. We'll look back on last week's AFC Championship game and begin to look forward to the Super Bowl. In addition, Jason Tatum in the news. The Bruins just had their best January ever. So give us a call. Join us in the cheap seats. 401-766-1240. We'll be back on 99.5 FM, 1240 AM, WoonSocketRadio.com.
Your certified Buick GMC dealer serving drivers throughout Woonsocket and the surrounding areas is Tasca Buick GMC. At Tasca, you'll find a solid selection of new Buick GMC models, as well as a carefully inspected lineup of pre-owned vehicles. They also have a well-connected finance center run by a qualified team of finance experts who can help you get the right loan or lease in a quick, easy, and transparent manner. Tasca Buick GMC, 55 Fortin Drive, Woonsocket. Visit TascaBuickGMC.com. Tasca Buick GMC. You will be satisfied.
If your garage door needs replacing because of wear, performance, or appearance, think of Woonsocket Door Sales, your complete overhead door facility for installation and maintenance, including framework repair and security. Woonsocket Door Sales features important information about security on their website. For attached garages, be safe with a good deadbolt lock or door monitor. And remember, detached garages often contain valuable tools and recreation equipment. Woonsocket Door Sales since 1935. 1 Biltmore Avenue, Cumberland. 767-3448.
The last thing you need is more stress. So at Misho's Auto Body, they handle the complete claim for you. Check their website to see the 13 actual steps they take to make your experience stress-free. You'll also see a complete photo gallery showing you the detailed and technical process necessary to accommodate new car construction and metallic paints. Misho's Auto Body, 430 Privilege Street, Woonsocket. 769-1983.
If you want your yard to be the envy of the neighborhood, then you need to contact Rosato & Sons of Westboro. They've been turning outdoor visions into reality across Massachusetts for more than 37 years. From custom patios, walkways, and outdoor kitchens to low-maintenance water features and landscape lighting. Looking for routine lawn maintenance, irrigation, or seasonal color? Rosato & Sons has you covered. They are a full-service landscaping firm doing it all in-house for unmatched quality and reliability. When you're ready to elevate your outdoor living, visit rosatoandsons.com to request your free estimate. Rosato & Sons of Westboro, where beautiful landscapes aren't an expense, they're an investment.
ON Radio. Woonsocket.
All right, and welcome back to the Chief Seats with Pat and Kevin. I'm Kevin Callahan along with Pat Holland here. If you're watching us on YouTube on ON Worldwide, or you can be watching us on the website, woonsocketradio.com, and listening the old-fashioned way on 1240 AM and 99.5 FM. So there's really no excuse not to be watching or listening to us.
Oh, there's no other sports show on at this
No
time
other
anymore
sport, not
either,
local
right?
anyway.
At least
so.
that's what I've heard.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. We're the most consistent sports show in this time slot in Rhode
right.
Island. So, all right, let's. I gotta dive in. Bill Belichick not making the Hall of Fame, and everyone said, yeah, he'll get in eventually. I agree with that, but the point is, and we got someone with thoughts on it right away. Point is, he should be in right now, or he should be voted in right now. Let's go to the phone lines and see who we have. Welcome to the Cheap Seats.
Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, Moose. How are you?
Good morning, Pat.
Morning, Moose.
How are you guys?
Doing
going
well.
on? A lot of things going on in sports as usual.
Yeah, busy
Yeah.
week. Busy week.
Now
as
you
usual.
just started off with Belichick.
Yes.
Already I'm sick of this.
Well, we finally have our chance to have a take on it. So
Yeah.
and it's still in the news. It's still viable. So
Yeah. It's still on the topic, but well, why not?
yeah.
I mean, but I'll just comment on it briefly and move on to something else.
Sure.
I just think he should be in the Hall of Fame. No matter if Spygate or inflation of footballs or what have you is derailing him from entering
Right.
the Hall of Fame, then I don't understand that. I mean, in other words, they caught him cheating.
Right.
What else could prevent him from getting in?
They don't like him.
Well, that's
Personality.
true. Well,
they don't like him.
yeah, he's probably been blackballed by the NFL.
Right.
But I mean, his numbers are there. My goodness, they speak for themselves.
Absolutely.
So he should be in. That's it. I want to talk about.
All right, Moose. All right. What's next? All
right. The kind of alarming, not alarming, but very unusual news earlier this week was about Jason Tatum.
Yes.
Now, he was supposed to return just around this time. That was projected before the season began.
And just to be
Now
fair,
I'm hearing-
Jason Tatum never said that. That was just speculation. That it was going to be February or even March. That was just speculation. Tatum, because I think I know where you're going with this, and I think I'm going to agree with you. But Tatum never actually said, I'll be back in late January or early February.
Mm-hmm.
That was just speculation.
Now, is this speculation where he's saying he may not return at all this season?
Right. He's thinking about sitting out the rest of the season just to make sure. Missoula did report there have been no setbacks in his recovery.
So there's no confirmation on this. This is only hearsay.
Right.
Again, pure speculation.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, Tatum coming out saying he's not 100% sure if he's returning
I don't get
this season. I think he actually said that. He said that on somebody's podcast. So he did say that. The speculation that was never confirmed is, we expect him back in February or March.
And I heard one of the reasons, which I don't buy, is that he doesn't want to upset the harmony, so to speak, of the team. Who's been starting there, and there's 11, 12 players. He doesn't want to upset the routine because they've been so successful.
Right.
But I don't buy that. Tatum's ready. Get him in there.
Well, that's how I feel about the whole thing. If he's ready to play, you get him out there. I don't worry about team chemistry. Everyone says he's a top 5 player in the league or top 10 player in the league. You put your top 10 player into the lineup, and even if it's on limited minutes or whatever to take him in slowly, that's fine.
Yeah. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. That's all you can do. But they would be a contender for the title. Tatum gets in there.
They are playing above and beyond
they're
expectations.
Playing above their expectations is correct.
Right.
Jaylen
Brown.
Brown is he's been nothing short of sensational.
Yep.
And Pritchard's come about, and you got nice Packets and Simons and Hauser kid.
Yep.
And they're.
No, Missoula's got them playing a lot better than I thought at the beginning of the year. I mean, the NBA is not my number one. I don't think it's your number one sport either.
It isn't.
But it's
it concerned the Celtics, so that's why I wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, no, but
they certainly have more depth this year than they've had in the past. So, which I don't know if they expected that or if it's just how it's.
Well, when you look at who the Celtics,
a cohesive team.
When you look at who they lost last year, I don't think anybody expected them to be in the position that they're at right now.
Yeah, no one. Now, football, we'll get to that next week. And said about the Super Bowl and Patriots not being given a chance because it could be a bloodbath by Seattle, and double-digit win. And, again, pure speculation.
Right.
Yep.
The line is 4.5, but I read somewhere that the line being at 4.5 is a perfect line because of betting purposes. If it were to go at, say, 5.5 or 6, or we'll even say 6, it's not going to get as much action as it would if it stayed at 4 or 4.5.
Is that because everybody predicts like a field goal type game, so a lot of people put their money on 4.5?
They're going to bet on that, but 6, they're going to say shy away. Oh, I'm not going to bet the underdog. It's just that number. I don't know if you agree with that or not.
Yeah, I don't know if you know much about the whole gambling scene, Pat. I don't. I hadn't heard that before. Other than the only thing I know is they set the line so 50% of the people will bet one way and 50% of the people will bet the other way. That's
usually when you got a line, Kevin, about 3 or 4.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why you see...
That's the standard. That's the standard line.
Right.
Where you're going to get a 50-50 chance on each team. But if you go up to 6 or 7, now you're not going to get much action, as you would with the line being 3 or 4. That's how the books work. I'm sure of it.
All right. No, that's interesting. I hadn't heard that. Obviously, they want to get the most action on there as possible. You see those occasional college football lines where the spread's 48 points.
That's
just to get some action going. But 4.5. I don't think it's disrespectful to the Patriots.
You see those lines, just for an example, the 48 line, something crazy, something like that, or a 30 line. That would be off the board.
I always end up losing those.
No, that would be off the board. You wouldn't be. So I'll take Miami minus 30. No games off the board.
Right.
So these guys know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
They know everything.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is you have 2 weeks of discussion time and speculation leading up to this game, that everyone has this and that. I mean, at the end of the day, you look at the facts, and I want to say, out of the last 14 years, it's been like a team that has been seeded 1 or 2. The number 2 seed has won 12 out of 14.
Nice.
Because they've had to go on the road and win to get there.
Nice. I did hear the team's flying out west at 12-0 since 2000.
Yeah, and then when you go into the Super Bowl, it's a neutral site. So, God love it.
I don't see that line moving too much.
Seattle has a great fan base, and I'm sure it's tremendous time taking a game in Seattle. But you go down to San Francisco, and it's
4.5.
Yeah,
that's what I say. But anyway, we'll see when the time comes. All right, that's about it. The Bruins, boy, they're playing so well.
11-2-1 in the month of January. Best January since the 2022 and the 1929 Bruins. Do you remember the 29 Bruins, Moose? No, you don't. Okay, wasn't sure.
I'm not that old. Maybe a couple of years older than Moses, but...
All right, Moose. Have a great week. We'll talk to you soon.
We'll talk to you soon, guys. You have a good week, and again, go Pats.
Go Pats. All right, see you later, Moose.
Guys.
Have a good weekend. Okay, Moose not remembering the 29 Bruins. I was looking for a little extra insight on that team. I thought maybe he could provide it, but cannot. So, all right, he didn't want to talk Belichick because he feels like it's been talked to death. I don't feel like it has been talked to death yet, Pat. I wanted to talk it to death a little bit right now. First of all, your initial thoughts?
I'm not surprised he didn't get in. I mean, based on the issues that surround him, but he will get in, and 25 years from now, people aren't going to remember that he wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer anyway.
True. I mean, I looked
except for
up,
you.
I did. Yeah, I'll remember. But I looked up first ballot coaching Hall of Fame who got in, and Don Shula, Tom Landry, and Chuck Noll got in. So some of the knocks on Belichick, Spygate and Deflategate. I don't want to just dismiss it, but Deflategate, I'll always go with this one. Aaron Rodgers did say, "I overinflate the balls." He said it. It's a quote. It's been on the air, and nobody cares that he overinflated it. I don't know why it was a bigger deal, but nevertheless, Don Shula had Dan Marino, and they went to one Super Bowl together.
Yep.
He is a 3-time champion. He won 68 and 2 in the 70s. His record at the end of his coaching career was 73 and 55. He was averaging nine wins a season and averaging just over 6 losses a season. Back then they were playing 14, then 15, then 14, then 16 games. So like a 9-6, 9-7 record. Chuck Noll, who won 4 Super Bowls in the 70s, from 1985 to 1991 went 51 and 60 as a head coach. Tom Landry's last 3 seasons, again, 2 Super Bowl wins in the 70s. Tom Landry's last 3 seasons was 17 and 30 before he was let go. People talk about Belichick couldn't win without Brady. In Cleveland, he was building up the program. Then they moved the team to Baltimore. Cleveland went downhill, and they got rid of him. He went 11 and 5 with Matt Castle as a quarterback. The year Brady went down, he went 7 and 9 with Cam Newton, who can't throw a ball, as a quarterback. He went 10 and 7 with Mac Jones as a starting quarterback. He went 8 and 9 with Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi as the quarterback. His last year, 4 and 13, a complete disaster, and they end up parting ways. Also with Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi as your quarterback. So the end of his run in New England isn't much worse than Landry, Noll, and Shula. Then you throw in all the Super Bowls that he has, 2 as a defensive coordinator, 6 as the head coach, all the AFC. So I don't like the fact that they're holding a grudge, whoever they are. Somebody did come out and say he's going to get in, and I really wanted to vote for L.C. Greenwood and 2 other guys. So I don't know. Did you hear anything else from other reporters, other reasons why people didn't vote for him, or do you think it's a purposeful snub?
Yeah, I think it's to really just, hey, take note, and you can't do this type of stuff and expect to be just handed a walk into the Hall of Fame. You're going to get there, but you're going to have to essentially pay your penance, like they said.
But he didn't pay his penance yet with the fines and the
he didn't.
Lots of draft picks.
Yeah, the team did.
So you kind of agree with holding him out.
I don't agree or disagree. I can understand why he didn't get in.
It doesn't make sense to me. He won't get into the University of North Carolina's Hall of Fame.
Well, that's true too,
and that's rightfully so. But it bothers me that the writers can hold grudges. I don't think I'm one of those that didn't think the Spygate was that big of a deal. And I don't think Deflategate was a big deal.
Yeah,
at all.
I don't disagree. I think, you can go back and rehash this all out. Right. Every team was doing it. They were all warned. He just kept doing it.
Right. He was stubborn about it.
Yeah. So it's, hey, sometimes you make your bed and you got to lay in it for a little while, and this is part of it.
Do you think there's anything behind this rumor of because I kind of wanted to see Kraft and Belichick go in together, that Kraft goes in this year and he kind of appealed to the board, I don't want to go in with Belichick, and Kraft finally gets in this year, doesn't want to share the stage with Belichick?
I don't put much credence to that. No. Yeah.
That's for you, for the conspiracy theorists out there.
Yeah. There's a lot of them out there, and I'm sure they all have their own little stories about it, but it's at the end of the day, it is what it is. He'll get in, and he'll be remembered for the Super Bowls and the wins and the teams, and not all this. He won't be remembered as the guy who didn't get in the first ballot.
All right. Will they hold it against Brady?
No.
Deflategate?
Deflategate is more of a lot of people don't think it really happened.
So you can't hold that against Belichick then?
Well, but Spygate is Belichick.
That is Belichick. All right, thumbing his nose at the league. So, all right. It just bothers me. You have all these accomplishments, and you don't get into the Hall of Fame. Do you have any thoughts on this? 401-766-1240. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to finish up some Belichick stuff. We'll talk a little bit about the Pats. We'll get into the Bruins, and maybe we'll touch a little bit more on Jason Tatum right after this on 99.5 FM, 1240 AM, and WoodSocketRadio.com. We'll be right back.
Lincoln and North Smithfield Urgent Care Centers are Northern Rhode Island's modern comprehensive urgent cares devoted to the best family health care available. They have board-certified doctors on their staff who will make you feel safe, comfortable, and reassured, especially when you're in doubt and concerned about the severity of your discomfort. Both centers feature on-site labs and x-ray facilities, as well as drug screens, complete physicals, flu shots, occupational medicine, including workers' comp and free blood screening. North Smithfield Urgent Care, 594 Great Road, North Smithfield, 768-3400. Open Monday through Friday 9 to 8 and Saturday 9 to 5. Lincoln Urgent Care, located across from Lincoln Mall, 333-9595. Open weekdays 9 to 9, Saturday and Sunday 9 to 5. You do have a choice.
State Line Service and Tire Center is a full-service vehicle maintenance and repair center, including computerized engine analysis, wheel alignment, emission testing, exhaust, and more. Their ASE-certified technicians use only quality parts to maintain your manufacturer's warranty. Regular maintenance is important. Remember to check your tires for pressure and wear. If you need tires, State Line will shop for you to get the best possible price, and they welcome any questions you may have about maintaining your vehicle. State Line Service and Tire Center at 1209 Social Street, Woonsocket at the City Line. 765-0146.
The world-class distributor of all things electrical is Electrical Wholesalers. They are a full-service electrical distributor with branches throughout Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire. Locally, they're at 113 Clinton Street next to KFC here in Woonsocket, with other locations in Cranston and Franklin, Massachusetts. Electrical Wholesalers provides the highest quality service to electrical contractors, as well as residential, commercial, and industrial customers. Electrical Wholesalers is open Monday through Friday, 7 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon. Visit ew-ne.com. Electrical Wholesalers.
ON Worldwide.
And welcome back to the Cheap Seats with Pat and Kevin. I'm Kevin Callahan, again, along with Pat Holland. You have some thoughts on the Belichick, Patriots, Bruins, Celtics. Give us a call, 401-766-1240. Just to wrap up the whole Belichick thing, I do agree with Pat. I think the league is the writers or whoever votes is just saying no. You're gonna wait a year, and as punishment for being the surly guy that he is, it's I don't necessarily agree with keeping somebody out because they don't like him, and they wrap it around the Spygate thing. But I agree. I think he'll get in, but they'll wait a year. I guess. Better not be more than 1 year, though.
I can't imagine it'll be longer than a year. Then they'll make themselves look even worse.
Right. Okay. All right. So the Pats, obviously got the Seahawks next week. The Patriots have played the fifth best defense in the Chargers, the best defense in the Texans, the second best defense in the Broncos, and the Seahawks have the sixth best defense in the league. Any concern with the Drake May shoulder injury? They held him out yesterday. They said illness. Which I can relate to. I had this cold this week. I wouldn't have wanted to participate in any sort of practices this week.
Yeah.
But what have you heard or what have you read about his shoulder injury, if anything?
I mean, I've heard what everyone else has heard for the most part, that he's, this time of the year, everyone's banged up.
Yeah.
It's probably more precautionary than anything. He definitely looked like he took a pretty tough hit versus Denver. So they probably just, hey, let's hold you out the first couple of days of practice. And, it wouldn't surprise me if he was truly sick. I mean, they played up in the middle of a blizzard.
Yeah.
And he looked like he was flush right
Yeah.
at the end of that game. So, maybe it's just like, hey, we're just going to take it easy. We'll ease you back in. You'll come out to practice. You'll be limited.
Right.
Per all the rules, we'll list you. And, if he was hurt prior to that game and he wasn't listed, they'd be. Now, I'm not saying he wasn't hurt.
Right.
But he was never listed on the report.
Yep.
Even if he was hurt but limited or full practice, they'd still have to write full practice participant shoulder. And, obviously these teams all play that close to the cuff, especially for a QB. You don't want to put blood in the water, right?
Yeah, I guess he landed on kind of the point of his shoulder, but they're just saying right shoulder. But so it's probably it could be like a deep bruise.
Yeah, you get all these, the doctors of this and that coming out literally hours after the game. It's a grade 3 this. Just by the way it landed, it's like you don't know anything without checking it out.
Right, right.
He has struggled a little bit in the playoffs.
Yeah,
obviously.
All right,
but
we got a call right now. Let's go and welcome to the cheap seats.
Yes.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, all right. I just want to make a quick comment.
Sure.
They talk about Texas and then Broncos, and now they talk about Seattle. They talk about they're the best defensive teams, right? But my thinking, I say that's because they haven't played the Patriots.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's my answer for that. They can have all the defense they want against the other teams,
Yep. And I say this, hey, it's not about what you've done throughout the season. It's about what you're doing now. And the Patriots defense they're peaking at the right time. And so.
Yeah, I agree with Pat. The Pats defense right now is playing great. And other than the Drake May, potential shoulder injury, which appears will be fine, they're operating on all cylinders right now on offense. Yes, they didn't have their best week last week, but everyone's healthy with the running attack and their wide receivers and their tight ends. So, I do like their chances against Seattle.
Yeah. And the other thing is that they say they haven't played their best game, but if you play a bad game and win, how can you complain?
Right? Yeah, exactly. A win's a win's a win.
I'd rather win ugly than lose pretty any day.
Listen,
That's right. That's right.
They're going to be in sunny California. It's going to be between 70 and 80 degrees come game time. There is no, there's no excuses for anything at this point.
Right.
And I'll take. I'll give Seattle the credit. They do have a pretty good running game, and they have some threats on the wide receiver. But Darnold is still he's still Sam Darnold, and there's quite. I mean, somebody brought it up at the press conference. You played against them on the Jets, and you were seeing ghosts, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I kind of forgot about that. Thanks for bringing it up." It's yeah. So, and I'm sure the Patriots remember that, and they're going to scheme.
Yep.
This game hopefully right into their hands.
Yeah.
What I like about Vrabel is that he also has a lot of stuff that he learned from Belichick.
Yeah.
And you never know what he's going to do.
Exactly.
He doesn't go there with one plan,
Right.
He goes along and he knows how to juggle things around. He's very good.
Yeah, it's all about making adjustments too.
Exactly, but they can have their defense. Okay, we'll see how they end up.
There you go.
Exactly.
Hey, call in anytime.
Yeah, give us a call back anytime. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Have a great weekend.
Later. Yeah, bye-bye.
We have a new caller to the show.
Hey, welcome.
Love it. We welcome all callers. 401.
The only sports show in Rhode Island at
this time. It's 401-766-1240. So, I think he brings up a good point in Vrabel. The team has just bought into him right from the beginning. And don't forget, they got off to a tough start at 1-2, especially with the loss to the Raiders, who you didn't know it at the time, but were they the worst team in the league? Second worst team in the league?
The worst team.
They are the worst team in the league.
Yep.
You lose to the Steelers. They dropped to 1-2 with all those turnovers, and he turned them around right away. And even everyone was saying after the Pittsburgh loss, if it wasn't for the turnovers, they probably would have could have won that game easily. So credit to Vrabel keeping everybody together. Credit to Stephon Diggs as well as a player. Really seems to be buying into. Wide receivers just have that diva mentality a lot of times, and Stephon Diggs buying into the whole team mentality. Really crediting Josh McDaniels for turning him around, and the greater good of the team better than the individual stats. Because I think Stephon Diggs had 5 catches for 17 yards last week. Not his best statistical performance, but then again, Drake only threw for 86 yards or something last week.
Maybe a little bit more, but yeah.
One of the things I did notice with Drake, and I don't know if this was a shoulder thing or a cold weather thing, it looked like on some of his passes, it looked like he was like throwing darts instead of just throwing the ball, and just the way it came out of his hand that way, and he kept coming up. He came up short a couple of times on some of those passes, and I remember saying that live time, like, oh, it looked like he held on just a little bit too long, like too tight of the ball. I don't know if you noticed anything when you were watching, like.
Yeah, who knows what the wind was like up there?
Right.
Like, there's a lot that goes into that, and typically you don't see him underthrow. But then he comes back and he drops that pass in to Hollins. Like,
that was beautiful.
Just beautiful. Like it's like right there, and you go, all right, well here it is. And then to get the plays done on with his feet.
Right.
That last play call was.
Oh my God!
They said he called that on his own.
I heard that after.
At the line.
At the line, he audibled it
out to a base. I call it the old school flutie.
It was kind of like just a bootleg, right? And
flutie bootleg.
Yeah,
right.
And he stiff armed the one guy, and when he dropped back to pass in that situation, before I realized he was running, I said, "Oh no," because I was fearful of another incomplete pass. I was fearful of an interception. But
Clock
incomplete
punt.
would have stopped the clock. I didn't want to give Denver the ball, Stidham or no Stidham. I didn't want Denver to have the ball. And then when he rolled out and he got the first down by, a yard and a half to 2 yards. Oh, I that's as happy as I've been.
Yeah. It was one of them games that you were sitting on the edge of your seat.
Yeah.
Right? You didn't know what was going to happen next.
It really felt like, and I think the announcers, Romo and Nance? Thank you.
Did it, yeah.
Were alluding to it. Did it seem like they were going 3 and out? They wanted their defense on the field more so than they wanted their offense on the field.
Yeah.
Which I've never seen a game play out like that.
Under those conditions, I guess it makes sense, right?
Tony Romo said, in these conditions, at least 57 times.
But how about, yeah, true. How about Denver? They lose, so you make it, and they weren't very good the last couple of years, right?
Right.
So you make it to the AFC Championship, and you lose on whatever you want to call it. Your starting quarterback goes down, crazy weather in the second half, and it's like chaos there right now.
Yeah.
They're firing this guy, they're firing that guy. It's like, what's going on?
14-3.
Yeah.
Well,
it would be like the
14-4
Patriots losing that game, and they're getting rid of
Vrabel
everybody.
and Drake.
Yeah, McDaniel, you're done.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing?
That's crazy. And all right, I mean, I know everyone's talked about it, but in real time, going back and forth with my son, when Peyton didn't kick the field goal to go up 10-0 to try to get the touchdown, in real time, we were saying, take the points.
Yeah,
go up 10-0.
Always AFC Championship game. I'm saying you take the points.
It didn't make sense.
Yeah. Maybe if you're on the road,
I'm still take the points. Take the points wherever you can get them. Go up by 2 scores.
But you take the points. AFC Championship. You're at home. You're up 10.
Think about the Patriots play calling in the second half with the lead. Versus if it was tied or them losing, it completely changes their play calls for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So, and Sean Payton did that by opting to go. The Patriots defense has been stepping out. I didn't see what the Patriots defense is ranked, but they got to be up there pretty high. I mean, again, you got
they're top 10, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, again, the Chargers are 5th, the Texans are 1st, the Broncos are 2nd, the Seahawks are 6th. The Patriots have got to be in there somewhere in the top 10. So. All right, let's take our final break. When we come back, I'll finish up with the Pats. Want to get into a little bit of Jason Tatum and a little bit about the Bruins as well. But if you've got thoughts on anything we've talked about with big Super Bowl week coming up, give us a call, 401-766-1240. And you can join Pat and I in the cheap seats with Pat and Kevin here on 99.5 FM, 1240 AM, and OneSocketRadio.com.
Your certified Buick GMC dealer serving drivers throughout Woonsocket and the surrounding areas is Tasca Buick GMC. At Tasca, you'll find a solid selection of new Buick GMC models, as well as a carefully inspected lineup of pre-owned vehicles. They also have a well-connected finance center run by a qualified team of finance experts who can help you get the right loan or lease in a quick, easy, and transparent manner. Tasca Buick GMC, 55 Fortin Drive, Woonsocket. Visit TascaBuickGMC.com. Tasca Buick GMC. You will be satisfied.
Bringing over 3 decades of experience to every home improvement project, Moran Corporation, formerly A.J. Moran, combined traditional craftsmanship with modern techniques to deliver results that stand the test of time. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 to 5, Moran Corporation has seasoned firewood for just $165 for half a cord and $300 for a full cord of wood. And what better place to put that firewood than a new fireplace made out of veneer stone with granite mantles. Contact Jack Moran at 781-267-8920 for information about these fireplaces, firewood, and other home improvement ideas, or visit their new website at morancorporation.com. As always, Moran Corporation continues transforming your property with expert hardscaping.
If you're celebrating a major event, regardless of the reason, Michael's Meats of Cumberland can elevate your next meal from ordinary to extraordinary with meats so good your guests will ask you where you got them. Tell them Michael's Meats. Michael's Meats is in the Walgreens parking lot on Mendon Road in Cumberland, just north of the Seabro Plaza. They're open Monday through Saturday at 9 a.m., making your next meal truly special. Here's this week's specials at Michael's Meats.
And this week's special at Michael's Meats, trimmed center cut pork chops for just $2.99 a pound. That is not easy to say. Pork chops, $2.99 a pound at Michael's Meats.
5 times fast.
Yeah, wow. That was a lot harder to say than I thought. Welcome back to the Cheap Seats with Pat and Kevin. I'm Kevin Callahan along with Pat Holland. You want to chime in like our previous caller, 401-766-1240. Next week, expect Pat and I to do a deeper dive into the Super Bowl. We'll have all your Seahawk questions answered, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. See where the week takes us. So, but I do like, initially, I like the Pats' chances going forward. I won't make my prediction just yet, but, they're underdogs. I don't think it's disrespectful that they're underdogs. Seattle's good. I just like
we're in the all-whites. They're 5-0 in the Super Bowl in the all-whites.
They're traveling west. Western-bound teams at 12-0 since 2000. Going from east to west. Take anything we can get. I do like the 4.5 points. I'm not a huge betting person. I tend to lose, so yeah. I tend not to make bets. But 4.5, I see it initially as the old 3-point game. Remember the days where all the Super Bowls were like blowouts? And then the last 15, 20 years or so, they've been a lot better. But for years, they were blowouts. So it's good to see that. Should be a good game. So, all right. Moose brought it up a little bit earlier. We talked about it in the opening. Jason Tatum brought this question up to some friends, the other day. David Pasternak's been out all year, and they reinsert him into the lineup. Does that ruin team chemistry? By playing with the Bruins, do you think that would ruin any chemistry to insert David Pasternak 2/3 of the way into the season?
Not team chemistry. I mean, it might alter some of the chemistry that's been created by a line that was put together or whatnot. But they, hockey, you can't compare the two sports, but hockey is, they're always, for the most part, moving lines around. Right. Even, within a game or, 5 games later, like we'll make some adjustments depending on who they're playing. So, but I get where you're going.
Right. And Tatum, it's been said that if he comes back, it could ruin the team chemistry. And I'm having a real tough time wrapping my head around this whole. I don't get how a top player, top 10 by anyone, top 5 by some, but top 10 for sure, player in the NBA can come in and ruin chemistry. Is Peyton Pritchard going to be that upset if he goes from 12 shots a game down to 10? Is Jaylen Brown going to be that upset if he goes from his 30 shots a game down to 25 shots a game? Is Jason Tatum going to be upset he only got 12 shots a game instead of his usual 22? This is the part I don't get. Is it that individualistic that they can't see the greater good of the team above their own individual performance?
Again, we don't know who said this, right?
True.
And it very could well be that somebody said, hey, you might be better off playing this out, giving yourself the full season off, and then you come back next season fresh. especially where the team is doing well enough where it's like, well, we don't, it doesn't make sense to bring him back and have him on a minutes restriction where in that sense he is altering the chemistry of the team by fitting him in for 6 to 10 minutes.
Because in that situation, you think they'd be almost like forcing him in just to try to get him some playing time.
Correct.
Okay.
As opposed to, the full, like, hey, you're going to come in and we're going to, this guy's not going to get as many touches. I don't think they mean it that way. I think they mean it as like, if we're only going to be able to work you in, you're only going to be able to play 10 minutes of the game. How does that look and how do we do that? Does it alter what we've accomplished so far?
Do you think there's an ego thing in the sense of no one expected the Celtics to be playing as well as they're playing? Well, they're competing basically for second place in Eastern Conference, second or third place. They're also, going for first place in the Atlantic Division. That everyone, including Tatum, hoped that the Celtics would be hovering around 500, maybe just below, and then Tatum would come in on his white horse, saving the team and elevating them through the playoffs. And now that storyline is not necessarily there. That he's like taken aback that they're playing well without him. No. This is again just my little speculation on different things.
Certainly for him, I don't see that. Yeah, he doesn't seem to be like. Listen, both him and Jaylen Brown certainly could be number ones on any team they play on.
Right.
The fact that they're on the same team, there's a 1A and a 1B, and do they perceive it as that? Does somebody have to be the 1 and somebody has to be the 2? I don't know if they've. I think they've gotten beyond that.
I would hope so.
Over the last couple of years, they've won a championship together. I think they're beyond that. So I don't see that as being well. Hey, I got to get back because they're having too much success without me, and I got to get my place back.
If I'm Tatum, like, this is great. We're playing great. There's been no setbacks, according to Joe Mazzulla, to the rehab process. I'd like to come back. I understand I'm limited at first, and anything I can do to help the team to get to our 19th? It would be 19th championship. They have 18 banners. Wouldn't that be a great thing for him to say right now? I'm doing everything in my power to come back. I don't want to disrupt any team chemistry. It's been amazing how well my guys, Tatum can say it that way, my guys have been playing this year. He's a good player. It's okay for him to say he's a very good player. I want to come in. I want to help and get us to the next level. I'm psyched at where we've been playing, and I want to get to the next level. Why couldn't he just say that then? Just come out and say that, and I'll take on any role necessary to continue to help this team get to our goal of winning a championship.
I don't know. It's a good question.
Thank you.
But, maybe he's not where everyone thinks he is. Like, maybe they don't want to lead you to believe that he's not close to 100%, or he's, they're not going to come forward and give you all the information. He's 100%. Let's get him back. He's going to play full games. We're going to ease him in. We're going to adjust this. They're just going to let it play out.
Yeah.
If he comes back, he comes back. If he doesn't, we still have to be able to play and keep moving forward. So we're not going to invest a lot of time in, what happens when Jason comes back, and what does that mean? Well, if he comes back, we're going to be so much better, and we're going to, we should be the favorite. Which, by all rights, they may not be the favorite, but they'll be up there.
They'll be up there.
Yeah, for sure.
Conference championship potential for sure, if not winning the outright Eastern Conference. Anyway, with Tatum, in any sort of role, be it limited, be it off the bench, work his way into starting. Hey. So I think as we get into February and then March, I think Celtics or Tatum is going to have to come out with some sort of announcement just where he is on the status.
And also the trade deadline. Maybe they don't want to give up too much information where they give up leverage to make a trade at the trade deadline that could benefit the team or hurt the team. Or
that's a good point. Again, I didn't think of the trade deadline. That's twice you brought up good points on the trade deadline.
That's what I'm here for.
Speaking of trade deadline, let's do a quick pivot over to the Boston Bruins. 11-2-1 in the month of January. They've won 9 in a row at home. They last lost at home prior to Christmas. And they tied the 2022 and the 1929 teams for best ever in the history of January. Again, growing up, it was always the January swoon. The circus would come into town. They get kicked out of the Garden for 2 or 3 weeks. They go out on an 8-game road trip, and out of 16 points, be lucky to pick up 2. Yeah. It was always, oh boy. Then they'd have to play catch up the rest of the year, make the playoffs, get bounced in the first or second round of the playoffs. That was the script. Excuse me. I did not see this team. And credit to, I mean, look at the new coaches here in New England. You got Vrabel, what he's doing in New England. Now you got Marco Sturm. Again, when the season started, and I guess you got to give Joe Mazzulla credit, though not a new coach, but the prognostications at the beginning of the year is the Bruins aren't going to do well. They'll be lucky to even sniff the playoffs. Now it's completely changed. Now they've developed 4 lines. They got guys scoring. They're a physical team. They're hard to play at home. And the one thing I thought would get them into the playoffs more than anything else, because I didn't think they had the scoring touch, I thought they were going to need Swayman to stand on his head all year. And in one sense, it's been the goaltending that may have even held them back a little bit on some of the games. So heading into the Olympic break with the big outdoor game tomorrow night at 6:30 at Raymond James Stadium, home of the Buccaneers, 65,000 fans. And then I believe it's Wednesday. They play at the Panthers, and then they shut down for the Olympics. What are your thoughts with just 2 games to go before the Olympic break?
I think this all comes down to depth for them, where they've lacked it in previous years. That second and third line scoring has been it's really been unbelievable. I mean, you got Fraser Minton, who's playing unbelievably well. He has 14 goals. Victor Arvidsson, 13. I think they expected this out of him, but you didn't know what you were going to get because he came off of a season low or a career low. Casey Middlestat was a pickup in that deal with Colorado. He's put up 11, and then Kuzendinov has 12. These are all career numbers for these guys, or especially some of them. I think Casey might have put up double-digit goals before, but just a lot of scoring depth, which I don't think they expected. And then the fourth line kicks in every now and then. And they play a physical style.
McAvoy's been playing well since the injury. Picking up a bunch
turned
of
it back on. He's at 30 goals now. He was stuck at 25.
Who's this? Geeky.
Morgan Geeky.
Yeah, that's what
seemed like for weeks, but
that's what I wanted to bring up to you. It seemed like it was weird. I didn't realize it at the time, but Geeky went about a month without scoring. Yeah. And during that time, the Bruins didn't have a major setback, and now Geeky's scoring again. And I was watching NHL Network, and they say all real good goal scorers will go through a slump at some point during the season. Yeah. Geeky went through his. Now it's coming out of it. And also during that time, I felt that Pasternak started picking up more assists. He had that 6-assist game. And now
he had back-to-back 5 or 6 assist games,
Yeah, and now he's setting up more people. He's still scoring. I love to see his assist game pick up because now other teams can't just focus on him on that great shot he has from the face-off dot that gets past so many goalies. So now during the Geeky slump, other players really stepped up. They started gelling, and they are they're a team.
Yeah, they have eight players with double-digit goals.
Wow. Again, at the beginning of the year, we were saying where are the goals going to come from?
Where's the other scoring coming from?
Right.
Yep.
Decent first line, with no second, third, fourth. And again, all eyes were going to be on Swayman. And Swayman's been okay. Korpisalo, every time I want to get rid of him, he has a good game. I'm not a biggest Korpisalo fan. I think it's more because of his salary. I feel like they could trade him, get some missing pieces that they can fit, and bring up DiPietro from Providence, who's throwing another good year down in Providence as well, and just to free up the money, see if they can get be buyers at the deadline.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, they backed themselves into that contract, unfortunately, but DiPietro is either he has it or he doesn't.
Right.
You don't want to move on from like you did.
Linus Ullmark or Vladar?
No, the other kid that's down in Carolina right now who's playing unbelievable.
I'm drawing a blank.
Who is down in Providence? I'll pick it up.
Okay.
But it is a big contract. So
right, and they've got dedicated. It's the reason why I didn't have Swayman and Olmar, because they would have had 16+ million devoted to that position, but they have 11 million devoted to that position. I'm okay with the Swayman contract still. I think I'm in the minority on that because he is getting paid a ridiculously high number. They are playing him more than he's used to, but I think for that number in that contract, he has to play more.
That goalie would be Brandon Bussey.
Oh yes, that's right.
He has 20 wins
for Carolina. Yeah, and he had a good year last year.
2.22 goals against average, 908 save percentage. So he's having a tremendous year for them. And that was one of the guys that was like, "What do you do?"
Right. So, and who knows if Korpisalo, they could even trade him. I don't know how the contracts work if they just release him. He probably wouldn't not accept an assignment to Providence. So I think they just might be stuck. And in the time we have left, what are your thoughts on the outdoor game tomorrow? Has it lost its magic? Do you look forward to it? What do you think? In general, with the NHL?
I think it's a little overdone. But listen, these guys get up for it. The younger kids, they grow up playing outdoors. I know I watched an interview with Fraser Minton, and he was pretty psyched to get to play in it. I believe it was I can't think of the other guy they just interviewed, who I believe is from Florida.
Probably never played an outdoor game in his life.
and he was I think it was Aspero, and he was excited for it, like in his family, to kind of get to do the outdoor thing. And actually he's not from Florida, so I don't know.
Did you hear though, in Tampa, the weather is actually gonna be like in the low 50s for high, but actually dipping into the 40s. It's actually perfect.
Have snow today.
Ice conditions.
Or like flurry, whatever they call it, coming in off the Gulf.
Yep. Yeah, there might be some snow flurries.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. So this, whatever we're hitting, polar vortex, whatever's getting us right now, with the cold snap is going all the way down to Florida. They're going to have perfect outdoor conditions tomorrow in Tampa. Everyone was wondering how they were going to keep the ice. I'm like, I'm sure they know how to, but they don't have to worry about it as much if the temperature is 45 to 55. That's good.
Yeah, so it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens. They get through these two games. They're in good position. They've kind of opened up a little bit of gap between them, and I think Toronto is behind them, but they're like 7 or 8 points ahead of them.
Yeah, I think they're 8 points ahead.
Because then you get back from the Olympic break, and it's
a sprint.
It's a grind.
Yeah,
there's not many days off. So.
Oh, and congratulations to Hampus Lindholm being named to Team Sweden.
Yes.
I forgot who got hurt, but they named Lindholm to the team earlier this week. I think it was on Monday.
I know they lost Zaka and Elias Lindholm in that game the other night, so we'll see if they actually play this weekend or not. It'll be interesting to see what happens with them.
So if you
both of them are scheduled to go over and play in the Olympics.
If you haven't tuned into the Bruins this year, tune in this tomorrow night at Raymond James, Wednesday against the Florida Panthers, old nemesis with the Panthers. They're a fun team to watch. All four lines are playing hard, and they're playing well, and they're making a push. And kudos to Marco Sturm riding the emotional waves of 6-game win streaks and 6-game losing streaks at the beginning of the year to keep the team focused and on pace. So that's just about going to do it for us in the cheap seats. Next week we'll see if we can maybe line up a couple of guests to talk about the Patriots. If not, we're gonna do a deep dive in the Super Bowl. I couldn't be more excited about it. Pats, Seahawks, the whole area is as excited.
Yeah, as mentioned, right? We're the only sports radio show on the network right now. So
exactly.
Tell all your friends, call in. We'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely. In the cheap seats here on WOON 1240 AM, 99.5 FM, OneSoccerRadio.com. Have a great weekend, everybody.